Welcome back to the Green Means Go channel. It's your host, me. And if you're not on gambling Twitter, if you're not on Twitter at all, you may not be aware of what is going on with PropSwap. And I think you need to be aware about what's going on with PropSwap. And I laugh a little bit because this story is equal parts insane and funny in a way that is... how can people be so clueless? And I don't say that to be rude. But I think as we get through this video and as we talk about the details of this situation, I think a lot of you will laugh as well alongside me. And it's not like a ha-ha laugh. It's like a ho-ho boy situation. So what is PropSwap? PropSwap is a website that allows you to buy and sell sports betting tickets. Oh, what is my hair? Alfalfa? What are we doing here? I just showered. Sorry. It is a marketplace for people to sell typically futures. In other words, if I have a big future on a team to win the Super Bowl and they're getting close and I want to hedge, but maybe I don't have the bankroll to hedge. Now, you're going to hear all the sharps, all the people say, well, if you don't have the bankroll to hedge, it was too big of a bet the first. But it happens. We all know, we've all seen the ticket. So what should this bettor do? Should they cash out? Should they ride? So what PropSwap allows you to do is sell tickets. I've listed an example here. Xander Schauffele to win the Masters at 53-1. Obviously, that was a good price before today. I don't know how. Just the first one I screenshot when I went on there. But you can buy this for $36 to collect $19.60. So, if you go on their website, you'll see a ton of futures. So the point of the matter is they kind of operate like eBay. They are the middleman. They say, hey, you post the ticket. We will vet it. We will make sure it's a legitimate ticket. We'll make sure that you're good for the payment. We will post your ticket on our marketplace, on our PropSwap website, and then someone else can offer to buy it from you for a certain amount of money. And then when your ticket wins, if it does win, you will pay us the collect portion of this, right? And we will give it to the buyer. If not, you keep the money, and no matter what, they have a 10% commission. So again, think of this like I'm going to sell a pair of shoes, and eBay is monitoring the transaction to make sure that I am, one, selling the pair of shoes that I listed, they are legitimate, and two, they are received by the buyer, and there's no damages, and that me as the seller, I get paid, right? They are the middleman who is navigating the transaction. So what happened? Guy by the name of the cat123454 on Twitter posted this December 20th of last year. Posted his Eagles bet that he purchased on PropSwap. He paid $5,400 for it at the odds of 6-ish to 1. And he was supposed to collect $38,292 if the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Well, lo and behold, as we all know, the Eagles did win the Super Bowl. So what happened? Well, the seller of this ticket had his winnings, the $38,000, withheld in terms of taxes. So they only paid the original owner or the seller of this Eagles ticket $38,000. That's the full price. They only paid him, what is it? I can't do the math right now. $25,711 because the Sportsbook withheld the tax. They said, this is a tax liability for you instead of giving it to you all. And we're going to give you a form later. And then the IRS is going to come looking for that money. Like, we're just going to protect you by holding on to this money, right? Like, I don't know exactly how it all works, but they withheld the money from him. So he didn't actually get $38,000 to pay out. Now, this is where PropSwap is getting a lot of backlash because they are posting a ticket for these odds. Now, did PropSwap know necessarily that the Sportsbook was going to withhold the $12,000? They should have. And that's the bottom line. If you are navigating this business, if you are the middleman, you are responsible for knowing what each book is going to do. And I'm sure they will learn from that. So what ends up happening is, this is posted April 8th, so 2 days ago. He says, I've had good experiences with PropSwap in the past, but unfortunately this ticket I've been owed $12,000 for coming up on 2 months. I paid $54 up front to purchase the ticket, when I bought it in December. Unfortunately, after the ticket won, the seller does not want to pay the full amount, and PropSwap doesn't want to make up the difference. So, again, I'm assuming it was withheld. That's what I heard. Maybe the seller just is keeping it for his own tax liability. I don't maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, because I always thought that a book only withheld when you hit a 300 to 1 over $600 sort of parlay situation. Regardless, the bottom line is there is money being withheld from taxes either by the seller or by PropSwap. Or not by PropSwap, or by the Sportsbook, that's not being paid. So Cat is under the impression he's getting $38,000, and he never does. He gets it $25.77. So this is a message that PropSwap sent Cat. And this is where you have to laugh. There's nothing else you can do. We understand your frustration with this ticket. Trust us. We are extremely upset as well, if not more so. Run that back. Trust us, we are extremely upset as well, if not more so. So let me get this straight. You guys got your 10% cut of the 25 grand, and you're going to pretend that you're upset about this? Because you can't tell me that they did not take their 10% of what they've obtained. We're more upset than you are. You didn't lose 12 grand. You're not more upset than Cat. What kind of verbiage is this? Who wrote this? The $25K we've obtained for you so far is hopefully exemplary of the work we've put in to reach out to the seller. For more transparency, steps we've taken so far, paid our legal counsel, here's all the things they did. You know what they didn't do? They didn't make it right. They didn't pay the guy his money. This would be like eBay, and this is a very minor example, but it would be like me selling a pair of shoes on eBay, someone buying the shoes, and I only ship them one. And eBay saying, well, we're pretty upset that you only got one shoe. The heck you are. I'm the one with 2 feet. One of them is shoeless. Like in that situation, eBay would make it right. They would either refund my money or they'd get me another shoe. In this case, the right thing to do, and dare I say the only thing to do, would be to pay Cat what he's owed. And then at that point, if you as PropSwap want to go out and fight this with legal action and get your employees on it to get your end of the deal right, then by all means. But to sit here and make your customers wait in the background while you feel bad about it and have legal proceedings, not a good look, in my opinion. I get it. It's complicated. I get that there's hoops and rules and laws. But if you are providing a service to someone and you advertise that they're going to get this amount and they are not paid this amount, the only thing you are obligated to do as a business is to come forward with the difference, with the 12 grand, and say, hey, look, we weren't paid out the full amount. They withheld. We're going to pay you this, and we're hopefully going to get it from them. Okay? Now, if this can't get any worse for PropSwap's image, this is what they released today. I'm going to show you this. This is a real tweet. This isn't me making it funny. This is a legitimate post that they put on Twitter today. You can tell because they have their watermark in the background. Okay, everyone, here's the deal. Killer start. While we continue to work with the Eagles seller, we wanted to come forward with a solution. Hold up. You know what the solution is? You pay him 12 grand. That's the solution. You want to come forward with a solution? How about you come forward with the only reasonable solution in this situation, and that is to pay the man his money. Pay me my money. PropSwap will come out of pocket with $6K today, immediately paid to Cat. If everyone comes together who said they'd never use PropSwap, and we can find 1,200 new users, any deposit of $10 for a new user in the next 24 hours will fully reimburse him, no questions asked. They're crowdfunding for money that they rightfully owe someone. This would be like eBay posting a tweet that says, "Hey, for all of you who said you'd never use eBay, you don't trust us, if you list a couple items on our site, if you sign up for our site, we will get that missing shoe, and we will get it to its rightful owner. How about you just get the shoe? How about you just find the shoe? How about you just pay me back?" Like, instead of one doing the right thing, like they could do the right thing, pay the dude back in full and go after the money on their own time, make it right with the customer and settle what they need to settle on their own accord. They could do a neutral stance, which is continue to work with Cat in privacy and, say we're working with Cat to come up with a solution. We will make it right. We'll keep you updated. We're still working with this. Just kind of do the typical bland PR move. But they chose to swing the pendulum far to the other side. And they chose to say, we have the money to pay him, but to sweeten our pot a little bit, to help our brand a little bit, which I guess is that's the only logical thing, is they thought this would help them. Hey, if you sign up, if we can get 1,200 new users on PropSwap and deposit $10, we will pay him back. What is wrong with you? And then this is a killer line. Sound fair to everyone? I'm not involved. What a line. Sound fair to everyone? This isn't a negotiation. The negotiation has already been negotiated. A buyer bought, a seller sold, a ticket won, pay the money. Sound fair? You are the mediator, but you should have mediated. Sound fair to everyone? Why are you asking me? I'm just a bystander. I'm not involved. No, it actually doesn't sound fair. What sounds fair is you pay Cat $12,000. That sounds fair. You can also use unique promo code THECAT to get a free 100% match on whatever you choose to deposit. I mean, this is next level. This is next level business. So here's the deal. They were on the Elf Show today on Twitter, and it was brutal at best. I caught glimpses of it, bits and pieces. At times, the CEO who was answering questions, he made some claims that were a little bizarre. I think my number one complaint with it, and this is how I interpreted it, and maybe this isn't fair and isn't reasonable to say, you can go back, it's recorded, you can listen, but it was almost like he was acting as if he was the victim in this situation, which in some cases, sure, if you have to pay for this, you are the victim, but you can't be the victim when you didn't have the foresight to see that this was a possibility. That this could happen. So you can't play this victim card of oh, well, we lost out too. No. You got your cut, you got your 10%. I guarantee you're going to take another, you're going to you're not the victim. That was weird to me. The other weird thing is they were asking, well, how can we know that our bets are guaranteed now? Because this really ruins your credibility. And not only is it ruined in the fact that you didn't pay out in the first place, but it's ruined in the fact that you guys did not back the bet. You guys didn't insure it. You are the middleman. Your job is you are the protection. You're taking a 10% cut as a payout for making sure buyer and seller are both pleased. That's how this works. And they were unable to state if things were guaranteed. They said, oh, our terms and service don't guarantee any of these bets. Huh? What is that? What's the purpose of you then? And that's a horrible thing to put out on the internet, because now, what kind of Pandora's box are we opening to scams? You have to vet this. How did you not see this coming? We're dealing with hundreds of thousands of dollars a day moving through here, and you guys failed to see the tax liability and what that could do to users. So that is what's going on with PropSwap. Will I be using it? No. Will I be signing up with the cat to get a 100% match? No. But again, they did come forward. I don't know if I said this. I apologize. I'll wrap this up on the Elf Show, that they are going to make it right after getting raked over the coals in that space, just absolutely tore up and bashed, which rightfully so. I think people were pretty appropriate about it, so that was good, pretty mature about it. They came forward this afternoon and said they're going to pay it out, which I don't think makes them the hero in the situation. It just makes them, the bar is on the floor at this point. They met the standard. So as always, guys, I'm here to provide you with the most hottest tea, the most gossipest gossip that you can find in the gambling space. So if you like the content, I realize this is a quick throw together situation, fresh out the shower with a little Canva slideshow just cooking on the side. There's more where that came from. So we'll see you soon. And can't say I would recommend using PropSwap in the near future.